Hey, welcome to My Mama Summer. My name is Aimee Devlin. I'm an unconventional millennial mother living abroad, building a business and raising children while stepping into who she's meant to be. This podcast is an audio version of my newsletter, which you can find at mymamasummer.com. The episodes are short, wholehearted reflections of my life as a mother, business owner, and everyday human committed to being the best she can be. Pop in your headphones, grab a cuppa and a cookie, and take this time to just be with me. We recently decided to move cities, and the move is 1 week away. And as I've shared before, making massive shifts in our lives, like moving to a new place or starting a business, is not always easy. It's usually far from the opposite. Imagine meeting a huge giant who flips your reality upside down and violently shakes it until all the fears, projections, and challenges rain upon you from your unconscious. It's kind of like inhabiting a massive snow globe and having all your once buried shit rain upon you. At least that's how it feels for me. When you shake up your world, you need to do it from a grounded place inside your center. It's not a fluffy thought of, I want to run away from my reality. Maybe I'll ask a crystal if it's a good idea or not. It's an inner decision that rises upwards and out into the world. On the surface, this move of ours looks to have unfolded very quickly, much like our move from Australia to Mexico. But the reality is we've been considering this for a couple of years. What I've learned, at least for us, is that the consideration phase is much longer than the action phase. When I know, I know. When it's time, it's time. It's been simmering in the background for a long while as unease has risen over time inside of us. And we knew it was time to pull the trigger when friends of ours mentioned they were moving to the same city. It felt like confirmation. What better way to explore a new city than with fellow Aussies with a young family, open minds, and a commitment to chasing their dreams too. My husband Brennan and I are very intentional with how we live. We have a larger plan for our life, our family, and our dreams. And when we're off course, we're unafraid to adjust the sails. We're always calibrating to our internal compass. And this can be unnerving for people around us with a more apathetic or laid-back mindset. So from the outside, it can look rash, unthought through, and reckless, like we're running away. But from the inside, it's a carefully calculated decision. It's a step towards the future we're bringing joyfully into our reality. Now, with that context, here are some of the reasons we decided to move from living in the sleepy retirement zone of Lake Chapala, Mexico, to the colonial city of San Miguel de Allende in Guanajuato. In many ways, life here lakeside has been an uphill battle, and we're ready to simplify that in the following ways. The first thing is transport. We don't have a car, which means life is much simpler. We get a bus, a taxi, or we ride with a friend. Now, buses here come every 20 minutes, which may mean 3 buses in 5 minutes or once in 40 minutes, which is exactly what happened for Brennan this morning. And taxis depend on how the driver is feeling in the moment. Maybe they'll come, maybe not. And in the meantime, you'll 100% be late. It makes being on time for appointments tough. And for someone like me, for whom time is a major stress fest, it sucks. Keeping time doesn't come naturally to me, so I have to work really hard to be on time. It takes me out of my natural rhythm. My muscles get all tense and I grind my teeth and I just turn into an ogre because I'm trying so hard to make something happen. It's rough on everyone. I hate letting people down, so if I'm meeting someone at 11, I want to meet them at 11. But instead, they meet my ogre friend at 11:30. So in San Miguel de Allende, we can catch an Uber anywhere we like, and it's usually just 2 minutes away. And that makes for a much happier and more relaxed Aimee, and thus her family too. The second point is health consciousness. I nearly cried when I entered City Market in San Miguel. The sheer array of groceries made my heart flutter and my knees go weak. I'm not exaggerating. I'm a simple girl. Louis Vuitton does not excite me, but biodynamic butter? You had me at hello. And then there's Mercado Sano, which is a multi-level health lover's paradise complete with a mushroom store, smoke shop, juice bar, bookstore, relaxing booths, a kids area, organic grocery store, and so much more. So I can walk in, pick up all my favorites, sit down with my daughter while she plays, all while sipping a Shaga cola. And as we'd say in Australia, that's living, Barry. Here's an uncomfortable truth. I've barely cooked since we arrived in Mexico. Not because I don't like to or because I can't, but because it's like taking a trip to Mordor. I eat 3 meals a day and I'm not up for spending every day trekking across town just to feed my face. I've got stuff to do. Sure, I could visit 6 different shops to pick up my meat, my veggies, my broth, my dairy, my flour, my chocolate, and then lug it home on the bus that may or may not come with my daughter on my hip. But I don't, and I won't, because my name's not Frodo and it doesn't work for me. So instead, we order out a lot, more than I'd care to admit. And I also have our nanny cook simple stuff for us, but I long to eat my delicious home-cooked meals and my famous baked goods. And I want to sit my little one on the bench and have her help me stir the batter and lick the bowl clean together. I'm really excited to play an active role in my life again, rather than outsourcing it to someone else because I've lost my mojo and it's all too hard. It's an empty spot in my heart that I'm really excited to fill. We're also looking for young families in the same stage of life. It's no secret that people come to Lake Chapala to live out their days. Now that sounds romantic, and many people here do see it as a paradise compared to their previous life. But when you're a purpose-driven family in their working years with a young child who is a manifesting generator for my human design peeps, it can leave a lot to be desired. And don't get me wrong, we have some incredible friends. We've had a beautiful time here. We've met a lot of soul tribe here, lakeside. And at the same time, we need to offload with friends who understand what it's like to head to bed after finally getting a scant 30 minutes to talk with your partner, only to be rudely awoken at 1 a.m. by a toddler who says, "Mama, I just did a diarrhea fart in the bed." There's a charming solidarity to be had in having friends who understand the disheveled look and why our eyes are always bleeding. Yes, my shorts are ripped. Yes, my bras and my boobs are like deflated balloons. Shopping is just not the top of my list at the moment. Other parents in the same lane just get it, and that is such a relief. So I'm calling in friendships with mutual terms that our houses will be messy, filled with toys and fingerprints on the windows, and that's a great, shame-free thing to celebrate. Now, I want to make it clear that I've never experienced judgment from my older friends here in that respect, but I have shamed myself for not being or providing enough to friends who have much shinier, cleaner, and more organized realities than I currently do. Our home came with 2 mismatched knives and 4 sets of chopsticks. Our friends have 6 different sizes of cutlery for every course that they serve us. It's hard not to feel some level of shame. It's a me thing. I want to revel in this time of my life without feeling shamed by myself or others. And I want to proclaim proudly, welcome to my joy-filled family home. Make it your own just as I have. And step over anything you find on the floor. The cleaner will be here on Wednesday. We need more activities to do. Babies don't have many needs aside from boobs and hugs. Toddlers, on the other hand, have energy to burn, especially when they're manifesting generators. Just as I think I'm about to sneak my nipple out of her sleeping mouth, having already planned my relaxing evening, she'll stand up on the bed and proudly exclaim, "I've got too many beans! I want to go upstairs." So living in a small town without a car and with limited activities has also been a challenge. Burning off the beans of a toddler has proven so challenging in a small town. Though we can walk into town, we're often dodging dog poop, broken manholes, or missing cobblestones. It's not quite the relaxing stroll one might hope for. Maybe those days are over. Using the pram is a no-go. Lugging it from Australia to Mexico was pointless. It has sat folded in our house since we arrived. Our Chula baby carrier, on the other hand, was the best money we have ever spent. I still carry my almost 4-year-old in that. So we stroll the Malecon, we visit the playground, or we have a bite to eat on the weekends, but that only passes a couple of hours, and then we look at each other and ask, what do we do next? There's 10 hours left in the day. So San Miguel de Allende, there's larger, younger population means more activities for kids. There's a trampoline park, a softball playground, a rock climbing centre, a billion different classes. There's playgrounds with slides that aren't like hot baking trays that have just left the oven. There are cafes with playgrounds, streets without cars, and parks to explore. The library has 3 rooms for kids with puzzles, games, and a soft floor to lie on and read. It's a veritable breath of fresh air for strung-out parents who need a pause in their day for their battery to recharge. Just a little bit. But the main reason we're moving is because my life has been on pause since we've lived here. I was a new mama when we arrived. This meant I'd set aside most of my hobbies to look after my little one in my delicious oxytocin bubble. I didn't have much need to leave home when staring at my new creation ticked all my boxes. And as she's grown, I found myself wanting to get out more, spend time with other mamas in the same phase of life, connect on a deeper level with other humans, have adult conversations, and resume activities that I enjoy. These are things like art, dancing, working out, sewing, baking, and walking. Some mothers may have continued those activities throughout their early motherhood journey, but I didn't. I lost myself, as many mothers do, and it's been hard to find those activities lakeside. And when I have found them, they haven't lasted. This lack of ability to find things outside of work and motherhood has resulted in me filling my time with more work, even though I don't need to. I have a business that allows me to work when I want to. I don't need to work 8 hours a day. I barely need even 2 hours of work. Last year, I worked 2 jobs alongside building my business, not because I needed the money, but because I had the time and I didn't know what else to do with it. That gets to change now as we move to a city with ample activities, young families, and inspiration all around us. I'm reshuffling my workaholic ways, and it's time to press play on my life again. And for that, I'm eternally grateful and filled with so much excitement. And I look forward to bringing you along for the ride as I fill my cup again. If you enjoyed this episode and like reading as much as you do listening, I would love to welcome you as another subscriber to my newsletter. Head on over to mymamasummer.com to subscribe and let me know what you loved most about this episode. I love hearing your feedback. It's my favorite part of sharing what's on my heart. I'll see you over there. Have a beautiful day.